On A First Time for Everything, we will explore with our guests their firsts and how those impacted the seconds, thirds, and even countless times after.
Is it time to answer the call to trope or not to trope?
Crest a low hill in the forest, finding it lit by scattered hellfire. In the center, a demon of the old world unfurls its wings, welcoming you to your last breath.
Once you've been to a multiverse panel, you want them all to be that way. So, and a conversation and a cocktail is really all about us hanging out and drinking together and talking about the stuff.
To find out the truth behind the numbers, and hopefully along the way, show you ways to grow your own little author empire. Welcome to Page Numbers.
This is what we aim to discover this season. Welcome to 21 Grams with your host, Joe Compton. Hello, everybody. Welcome to This Year in Indies. I am Joe Compton. I am not the true host of this show because I have two co-hosts with me, and we'll introduce them in just a second. First and foremost, RIP, the Prince of Darkness. 2025 sucks because we lost so many good people, and that's going to be talked about a lot today. But this has been an interesting year for sure. And it's getting even more interesting for all of you out there. Simply put, this is the beginning of our week-long journey through what we consider the best of the indie, or our favorite things about our indie culture and our indie art this year. We're going to examine, Mr. Hillman's going to give us his top 5 indie RPG games of 2025 that you've been waiting for, and he's going to join myself and Bryan Tann in revealing our 5 favorite films of 2025, or 5 favorite indie films, although we are going to talk about a couple non-indie films as well. And then tomorrow night, I will be unveiling, and I was going to do the indie books with this show, but 2 things made me realize. Last year we went to like 2.5 hours, so we're gonna tailor that a little bit. Plus, I think indie books deserve their own show. You all contribute so much to our channel, so I want to give you your own show. Also, truth be told, I'm not done reading yet. I've got 2 more books that I need to get through in the next 24 hours. Hopefully, both of them make my list to make it worthwhile. But I do have my list kind of really fine-tuned at this point. I don't think the top 5 is going to change much, but we'll see. But that will happen tomorrow night at 8 p.m. live. I will do my honorable mentions through 12 through 1 of my indie books of 2025. And then Wednesday night, JD Estrada and I are doing our full list of indie music albums that we loved in 2025. That we've already recorded that. I just got to edit it and put it out there. So it'll be out there on Wednesday night for that. That is New Year's Eve, for those of you who do not know. That's a great show, really great stuff. We got a lot of great stuff going. And that being said, it's time for me to get out of the way and introduce our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dais here. The 2 men that have been by my side for most of this ride this year. I could not be happier to have them both here. And I could not be happier to have all of you here as well Tiffany's here. A.F. Stewart's here. Mr. Hillman's breaking the third wall. PG HD is here. We love you, man. And all of you who are out there, I'm just happy holidays, seasons to all. Yes, thank you, sir. It's nice to see you all. Gentlemen, what a year, huh?
This year has been a butthole. I hate 2025. I am happy that it's going away. If it never comes back again, it'll be too soon.
In the ironic aspect of we're celebrating a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, right? This is the stuff that's some of the only good parts about 2025.
Absolutely.
Like 2025 is like the broken down, gross trailer park in the van down by the river.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Bryan suffered a lot of great personal loss this year. He talked about that in our last show. I don't need him to rehash that.
Yeah, I really don't want to rehash that.
He's really, but we feel for him. We are his family, and just know that you've got a collective hug from all of us, my friend.
Thank you. I also wanted to send a shout out as well. Apparently, a friend of another individual that runs in our indie circles, former co-author during the old Burning Willow press day, Cindy Johnson, her husband David passed away over the last few days. So sending love and healing and positivity to the Johnson family on that loss.
I read one of David's books. He was a very good author. So
yeah, it's boy.
Yeah.
A year, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And that being said, hi, Mr. Hillman.
Look, I mean, they're not wrong, right? When it comes to like a lot of personal stuff. I mean, obviously, I had about 8 inches lost this year on my legs. So yeah, no, I get it. It's been 2025 stinks in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is that it's been great to see people stepping up for others, right? I mean, a lot of people stepped up for me, right? And I hope that, everyone who's going through a tough time has people around them. And I know that everybody does, but hopefully, you have people around you that can help you weather the storm. So for sure.
Absolutely, 100%. I think as a community, we've come together quite well this year, and I think it's very apparent in everything we're doing. So I think that's really a well said statement. I'm just gonna put this up here. This is exactly what 2025
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just like
2025 written by Stephen King. Yeah.
yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, this is that's good news, because if it's a Stephen King book, we know the ending sucks. So
Well, I just don't want to end up having an orgy in a sewer if it's a Stephen King book. Okay.
Yeah.
Because, ew.
Lots of places that
I think that segue.
That is a segue to end all segues, my friend.
absolutely.
So let's there you go. There's some love for you, my friend, from Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Vanessa said hello to everybody. Hi, Vanessa. And everybody agrees that 2025 sucks. Well, let's have some positive, right? Let's stem the positive. Let's have you, Mr. Hillman, talk a little bit about indie games this year and give us your top 5, please.
So the really great thing, one of the good things about this year, though, is that you're seeing an explosion of more and more indie games, and that from $1 million Kickstarters to dudes like me just putting some stuff out. And there's a lot of really good things going on in the indie tabletop RPG. I mean, the top 10, and I'll just read my other, hold on. I'll read the other, I'll read real quick 10 through 6, but these 10 games you're going to hear about today are just scratching the surface. So Black Company, number 10, Nimble 2E, number 9, Shadowrun Anarchy, number 8, Starfinder 2nd edition is number 7, and Age of Vikings number 6. So let's go ahead and jump in here to our number 5 indie TTRPG. It's something that a lot of you might be familiar with. It is. Oh, nope, that's not it.
Oh no!
There we go. I told you I'm the crappiest producer. Anyway, so Daggerheart by Darrington Press. Those of you not familiar with this, Darrington Press is Critical Role's imprint, essentially. And it's hard to believe maybe that you consider the folks at Critical Role and Darrington Press to be indie, but they are. They're an indie organization. Yes, they had lots of tie-ins with Wizards of the Coast and other big, big companies and things like that. But this has been an indie stamp from the beginning, and they're continuing on. So Daggerheart is the way I describe Daggerheart. It takes a lot of things. So it's definitely influenced by 5th edition D&D, but it also has influences from things like you could tell things like Fate, a lot of other indie games that are out there. They did a really good job of what I like to call taking a step to the left of Dungeons and Dragons and creating their own game. Daggerheart, you're going to see that on Hit the Dice sometime this year. Not soon, but later in the year, you'll definitely see it for sure. Right. So,
hey, Sean, is that the game that was written by Brendan Lee Mulligan?
No. Brendan Lee didn't read that. No.
Okay.
No. That was worked on by the folks at Critical Role, but also.
Well, he's part of the Critical Role team, so.
Yeah. No, Brendan didn't specifically work on Daggerheart. No. As far as I know, I mean.
To your point about them being indie is they were out there playing these games, but all the Wizard and West Coast and all of them followed them. They didn't.
Yes.
They were not doing this for them. They all jumped on it once they saw how popular it was.
Right. Exactly. They all these companies came to them. Right. Exactly. Right. And let's face it, Critical Role has transformed the industry to some degree. So for good or ill,
there's my contribution to your indie game top 5.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way to contribute, but it's just let this man cook.
All right, so let's get number 4 up. Dolmenwood by Exalted Funeral and Necronome Games. Oh God, what is the gentleman's name? Gary something. Gary. But Dolmenwood began in a series of back in the teens, if you guys remember the 20 teens, in a series of magazines called Wormskin, and they developed this, and you get a lot of this. It's based, it's kind of a fantasy England, but not exactly, but it's very much influenced by English fairy tales and things like that. Back in 2023, they kickstarted it, and this year it finally came out. Dolmenwood is built on, and this is where I try not to get too wordy into the history of RPGs, but it's built on old school essentials, the ancient old school essentials, which is itself basically the original D&D, well, the second D&D basic game by Tom Moldvay and the third one by Frank Mentzer, heavily influenced by those two. Same rules, just updated presentation. And so Dolmenwood took that and with some changes and built the world on it. If you like something that feels older school from the 80s, but is with much better production values than in the 80s, like a lot of stuff we'll talk about. Dolmenwood is a very imaginative world, and it's a good game, and I highly recommend you jumping into that.
No folding the paper over and and ripping the perforation basically is what you're saying.
Yeah, none of that. None of that stuff. You don't have to tear out your hex map and make copies of it. All right, so our number 3 game, Draw Steel by MCDM. Again, we're going back to the teens, and we're going back that same era of Critical Role where Matt Colville, who was, he's a video game designer. He worked for WotC. He worked for Last Unicorn as well, I believe. So Matt has a lot of credentials for RPG stuff, and so he began this series of videos on YouTube, basically as a lark, to try and encourage people to DM games. And although, it was focused mainly on Dungeons and Dragons, it really was stuff that was. It's one reason I really liked it. It was advice for DMs and game masters that could use for any system. Many years later, when they kickstarted Draw Steel and some other, they kickstarted some other things as well. They began developing Draw Steel. Again, it's clearly there's some influence from Dungeons and Dragons, but if Daggerheart is one step to the left, Draw Steel is 2 steps to the left of Dungeons and Dragons. It focuses much more on the tactical combat, but there's still plenty of narrative and story to go around. And one of the things I really like, and I want to shout this out, is that MCDM, number one, has hired a lot of people who were freelancers, like James Intricasso. James was doing DM's Guild stuff, and he ends up being one of the major designers for Draw Steel. But when he went into business, Matt Colville, one of his mandates essentially was, I'm going to pay my people a living wage. They're going to have, health care. They're going to have time off. They're going to be paid a living wage. And he's held to that, right? So people see these couple $1 million Kickstarters and they think, oh, well, he must be getting, Matt must be living in a mansion at this point, but it's not true. All that money, most of that money, I don't know where every cent goes, but most of that money goes back into MCDM, paying salaries, getting health care for his people. So he's doing it right. The company is doing it right. That's one reason why I will continue to support their stuff, even if it's stuff I don't play. But again, Draw Steel actually will hit the dice sooner than Daggerheart will, but you'll see that playing that as well. And we may even run some Dolmen Wood this year. Now that I'm mentioning that. Number 2. This is a game you've already seen on Hit the Dice. It's Ronin by Slightly Reckless Games. It is a hack of a Mork board for you English speakers. And Ronin, reason I like Ronin, number one, again, it's, there's a DNA a little bit of not just like D&D and the Mork board games, and then the hacks, but there's also some Legends of the Five Rings, I think, in there. And maybe even some DNA from Bushido, which is a game that came out in the 80s. Here we go again, the 80s, which I'm a fan of, big fan of Bushido. And Ronin is, every slicey, bloody, swordy
Kurosawa movies.
Yeah, it's Kurosawa. It's all it's Dagger Kamui, it's Ninja Scroll. It's all these things. And it was I think it was a great 2 hours of play. The system is really easy to use. And I think that if you want something that's more alive, kind of like gets your juices going, it's not a steady, contemplative Asian Japanese game. It is full of energy and getting right into the guts and honor and death, and they even have rules for seppuku or seppuku. My apologies if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. And yeah, I love Ronin. I'm glad we got to the table this year.
It was awesome. Hey, Sean, before you unveil your number one, maybe this is a good time, since this is a Morgborg adjacent game, to talk about what's coming on Hit the Dice and what we're doing next year. Well, I have the teaser if you want me to play it for you.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play the teaser for.
All right. Here we go, everybody. This is something that's happening here on Go Indie Now. It's a 12-week journey. Here's a little teaser of what we're talking about.
Thank you, Joe. Yep, we're doing we're calling it hack the dice instead of hit the dice. We're gonna hack. We're hacking more
The dice.
Exactly. We got to get a recording of that though. we got now. Brian's going to do the voiceover.
The intro.
And I am happy to do voiceover stuff. The dice.
Awesome. All right.
Vanessa says she loves a teaser. Tiffany says a teaser headbanging from Brian. And then, ew, spider. Stop it, Joe.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the spiders, but the music had me going at it.
Right.
And Vanessa's volunteering to play some games, Sean. So get in touch with Vanessa.
Yeah, I'll game with you a bit. I've been able to do this sort of gaming in a minute, bro.
We would love to have all of you join us.
So before we get number one, let me talk about that then. I just learned, and I don't know why I didn't know this before, but like there's a Swedish World Wrestling WWE game, or it's somebody's using WWE rules for the local Swedish wrestling scene. But so this year I would like to bring the wrestling game RPG.
Cool.
So yeah, I figured that.
Cool.
Get some wrestling fans.
Remind me of my eFed days. Yeah.
Oh man, I miss e-fetting so much. I was so into e-fetting.
But yeah,
we'll have to get you guys on just to talk about that sometime.
Mm-hmm.
E-fetting?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So just give everybody an insight into what that teaser was about, though, Sean. So if there's people out there who wanted, because I'm sure you're still taking players, right? So
yeah,
I don't know if you've figured everybody out, but that's
not quite. Yeah, we haven't quite figured it out. So basically, multi-board is going to be a 12-week, once a week actual play where we've hacked the workboard, changed the setting, changing some of the rules here. Not much though, but a little bit, to make it very much unique for us. Maybe down the line, actually releasing the game for people to play. I think that would be an ideal. But yeah, it's going to be 12-week actual play, 2 hours every Tuesday. We think every Tuesday, and it's different from Hit the Dice, which Hit the Dice does a different game every month. This will be 12 weeks of doing the same game. What we could be considered a traditional campaign. So we hope everybody's going to tune in, and absolutely we should announce players hopefully by sometime this week, because we're playing next week or the week after. So yeah, so we should be announcing the players pretty soon.
Tiffany says she wants in on the wrestling game, and Vanessa says she's not interested in the wrestling game. She doesn't understand the overlap between wrestling and geek culture.
that's a completely different show, but honestly, it's huge. Well, I mean, if you think about it, in some ways, wrestling is a LARP, but a way more physical LARP. But it still has its story and rules and things like that. It's I
The way
love
my
watching
mom
it.
always described it was, we grew up as latchkey kids or as kids who grew up in households in the 80s. We were inundated with soap operas. And so guys couldn't, that was a housewife thing, right? So guys watching soap operas was emasculating, right? Which is stupid and silly.
Yeah.
But that was our soap opera. So we were able to claim wrestling as men, which is ironic because wrestling now is 60% women watch it more than men do. So, which is all that is great for our world and everything. But that's how my mom used to describe it. She goes, "You guys just like it because you don't want to admit you like soap operas."
Well, I still remember loving watching, wondering what was going on with Luke and Laura in General Hospital in the 80s. So I never had an issue with
Rip Anthony Gary.
Anthony Gary. Yes, agreed.
Absolutely, Rip Anthony Gary. Who was also in Disorderlies with the Fat Boys.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he was.
Bryan Tann with the pull. Bryan Tann with the pull today.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is an 80s.
All right, indie game, number one indie game of 2020. I mean, this is just a no-brainer, right? I mean, this game dominated. I mean, we still get people watching your show playing this game, by the way. I mean, they watch it religiously. There is a cult behind this game.
Yeah, it's a very popular game, and it's very well done. And it's Mythic Bastionland by Bastionland Press. Fantastic game. It was a lot of fun to run. It was a good 2 hours spent. If you want, there are a lot. I won't say there are a lot. There are a couple notable Pendragon, Arthurian legend games out there. Pendragon being probably the most well known by Chaosium. But Mythic Bastionland takes the original Bastionland, which is very indie, very sort of British dystopia, and converts it into Arthurian legend and myth, and it's a really good game. Highly recommend it. Easy to play for one shots. Easy to play if you're just looking for something to do that weekend, and very, very good for campaigns. So absolutely, Mythic Bastionland. I was very happy to see some of the games that we played this year on my list, and this is at the top.
Yeah. I mean, this game, you didn't even have to. I knew what your number one game was before you told me. I mean, you talked about it on the show. Even you're talking about how much you really love this game. So
yes, yeah. I for sure did my best to really think it through. Like, okay, is Mythic Bastionland really number one? And by the time I was done my NCAA, championship bracket, it was like, yeah, Mythic Bastionland has made it. So for sure.
I mean, it's a testament, and we just gotta love from our audience there. So obviously, this game has a resonance to it that is just beyond culture in a lot of respects. And Vanessa and Brian are having an interesting conversation in the chat about sports being homoerotic, but
it is.
It is. I totally agree with all of what you're saying, but we're getting way off.
Yeah, a little bit. Sorry, I'm always leading the
No,
train
it's all
off
good.
rails.
You guys can have that in the chat. I just I'm not going to put all that up because then we'll just get into a discussion about it. I mean, I agree with everything you all are saying, just for the record. But anyway, all right. So thank you, Sean. Everybody go check out those games and support our friends over at Drive Through RPG. They all have every single game listed there. You can get every game from them. And they're good friends of ours, so we want to make sure that everybody goes and they support indies tremendously. So everybody go through them and get those games and get ready to play some with us in 2026.
Hells yeah. I'll be playing the combat heavy guy with a heart of gold.
There we go. Got it.
On the subject of cultural shifts, the three of us, we've all put together our own individual list of top 5 indie films of 2025, and we're going to unveil those here one by one shortly. But we all agreed, and I think I could speak for the entire group here, that if we had a pseudo list of just movies where we didn't disclaim between indie and studio films, this movie would be, if not at the top of our list, within the top 5 of all of our lists. It just was a cultural shift that needs to be talked about. And so today we're going to discuss a little bit about how Sinners really changed the landscape for film in a lot of respects. And this movie had to be mentioned today. I just think it had to be. So if you guys want to talk a little bit about that, I'm happy to. Sinners is amazing on all levels. Yeah, see, I mean, I'm happy to digress to you all to talk a little bit about that. So,
can we talk a little bit about Michael B. Jordan as an actor and a moving force, right? Like, I mean, I
was happy to see that he got a Golden Globe nomination. I really was worried that wasn't going to happen. This movie's labeled as horror, and oftentimes, horror, I mean, leave it to the Hollywood Foreign Press to acknowledge horror. I wasn't worried most of the Golden Globes. I'm worried about the Academy Awards. I don't think he gets quite to that level yet. There,
and that's disappointing.
Yeah, I just think they're old and crutchy, and they think horror films as lesser than. Right?
Well, here's part of the problem. Number one, they look at horror as trash because they can't get it. That's their problem. Yeah. 2, they still don't want to. They still don't want to give black folks our flowers, no matter what. Like, they had to give Denzel his flowers because he can't be denied. Yeah. But anybody that's not Denzel, Angela Bassett, Lawrence Fishburne,
I mean, Jamie Foxx did win.
Or Jamie Foxx. Now, Jamie Foxx was another one. They couldn't deny him.
Yeah.
So, no, it's about time. No, Michael B. Jordan, number one, he, in the last 10 years, Michael B. Jordan has gone from, he transitioned from being a child actor to being a great HBO TV show actor to being one of the greatest actors of his generation. Yep. And so much of that, you see that with the partnership between him and Ryan Coogler. That creative bond has just transcended. That is, number one, that is how a good director and a good actor lift each other up to new heights.
100%. And for Ryan Coogler to have the trust for him to play both roles, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That is not an easy thing for a director to give up.
No, it is not. And it's not easy for an actor to play 2 different characters. Because the one thing that I truly appreciate is that Smoke and Stack they're twins, but they are completely different people. And that was amazing. And it was so believable. Can I just say, though, that 2 things I have to get out. Number one, as soon as I saw that trailer, I looked at Sharon and I said, we are going to see this. Because, see, Sharon doesn't do horror, anything resembling horror. And I said, look, we're going to go see this and I'll go alone. Number one. Number 2, as a Black author who has written Black vampires, I'm glad to see that Black vampires is more and more coming to the forefront into the zeitgeist. I just wish that my work would have helped pave the way. But that's just me being a little bit selfish, a little bit whatever.
Right. Someday.
But
you'll change the landscape again.
I was here first. I did it first.
Okay. I have 2 things to say about this film. In terms of what we're talking about. One, this is the best shot film of 2025. The cinematography in this movie is absolutely gorgeous. It is. I'm still to this day. I'm waiting for the director commentary because I gotta know how they did a couple of these shots. I'm obsessed with how they did this one shot in the marketplace where it's over the shoulder 360 camera I'm so obsessed with that whole sequence. This movie is just beautifully done, edited perfectly, all of that. Number two, shame on the Hollywood foreign press for not giving Delroy Lindo his fucking flowers.
Yes,
that man is paid
yes.
his dues. How about we just give him a nod? You don't need to win the award. That the
just show
supporting cast, the supporting actor category is such a fucking joke in these award shows because they lump it all together with they separate the categories so they can have 10 lead actors be nominated. Do the same for the fucking supporting cast, because if you do that, Delroy Lindo gets on that list, and he should be on. I look at the top 5. And there's nothing. I'm not saying slighting any of those performances in the supporting role, but Delroy Lindo knocked the shit out of all of those guys. I'm sorry. He deserves his flowers, and that man. Hopefully the SAG Awards and the Academy recognize that. But I am Absolutely. I'm upset about that one, to be honest. But
I have to admit, I still get tears in my eyes when Delroy Lindo's telling the story of when him and his friend were, played the performance, and then his friend got lynched. And it was an amazing choice to attack our senses with his PTSD of it, how he's still hearing it all. That was so well done, and it is so heartbreaking because
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It just he's part, like, there is a moment, and of course I'm the film nerd, so I noticed this. There's a moment where Coogler pans out, where he has the camera pan out, and you see Delroy Lindo's hand shaking because he's going through withdrawals because he hasn't had a drink in a long time.
Yeah,
that moment to me, that stillness. Details. It just blew me away. It blew me away that they had the peace of mind, and I don't know if that was a directed aspect. I have a feeling that Delroy Lindo was doing that in a few previous takes, and Coogler saw that and goes, "We need to catch that, right?"
Yeah,
because Coogler has an incredible eye for that stuff. So
he's a great eye for detail.
That whole idea is, that is what an actor does. That is the level we're talking about. We're going to talk a lot about films today that elevate that aspect of what we watch and how we watch it, and that's why indie films are so powerful. But this really played like an indie film for me. Unfortunately, Warner Brothers was behind it, and they were in the machine, so they were able to, get the money that they needed to make this movie right. Because I think if they had made it as an indie budget, maybe not as powerful as it might have been.
I think he would have figured out how to do it.
I think he would too, because he's done it before.
Yeah. Look at what he did with Fruitvale Station.
Movies under $1 million. So
yeah. Look what he did with Fruitvale Station.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also, and shout outs to him and his wife as well, being the shrewd business people that they are. That basically Ryan Coogler is going to be taken care of for life. Him, his wife, his kids, his grandkids going to be taken care of with that deal.
Yeah.
So it's his.
Yeah.
So shout out to that as well. I think,
and shout out to Michael B. Jordan for saying, I will not do a Creed movie without Coogler involved. He's the guy who brought him in, and that was it, right?
Absolutely.
But that of course, Sly Stallone had to be an asshole about the whole thing. But
plus it's also Sly and Chart of having their issue, and now Sly is angry now and taking shots at anyone he can, and angry old man. And I get it, whatever. But but at the same token, one thing that I really appreciated as well was the symbolism of that film, the symbolism of what it's like with the idea of assimilation and the racial assimilation versus assimilation of vampirism.
Mm-hmm.
But also even just the idea of the character Sammy, who he's dealing with the kind of hypocritical aspects of religion when it comes to anything that's outside of the church.
Mm-hmm.
And
I also love how smart everybody was.
Yes,
they didn't have to play the stupid, stereotypical roles.
Yes,
and I just love that they all had some kind of angle where they figured something out, and I just thought that was brilliant too. This movie is just brilliant on so many levels, and it's a game changer for generations. I think it changed horror completely. It has changed the game completely. So,
but don't mind me. My grandbabies just came here to see me, so I'm saying, hey, baby.
And I certainly think it has indie sensibilities, right? It's still difficult for black directors and black writers and black actors to get their projects in front of a mainstream audience, right? That's still a thing that we are dealing with, or they're dealing with, and as a greater community, we're dealing with.
100%.
Just the fact that this movie was able to get made, I think it is huge. Kudos, as we've always said, kudos to Coogler, kudos to Michael B. Jordan, and everybody involved with this. But certainly, it feels like an indie movie, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like that maybe is the best. If you're tired of paint by the numbers blockbusters, right? Mm-hmm. And paint by the numbers horror, then I think that that aesthetic, that indie aesthetic comes through, even if it was more mainstream in terms of how it got produced.
Yeah, and look, I'm always here to see bigots get their comeuppance. So yeah. And but really too, the heartbreak of all of it, and I'll tell you what, the one thing that I really, really, truly appreciated, number one, Haley Steinfeld doesn't get enough. She finally broke away from being just the quirky character actress for me, because she was rugged. And I'll tell you what, I'm really, really glad that she also was able to sort of let us, the public, into her lineage, or because she didn't have to do that. She didn't have to explain herself to nobody. She's an actress playing a character in a film. She does not need to justify anything, but the fact that she did was absolutely amazing. And I think it sort of shows, and a lot of films have done this in the past. I reference Fright Night when I make this point of the sort of sadness there is in being a vampire. Not a lot of films really just, they're these powerful supernatural beings that are just killing, but they never really showcase the sadness that comes with it. When Stack and Mary go to see Sammy, and even you could see the sadness in his face.
Even when they at the end you're talking about,
yes,
the Buddy Guy, shout out to Buddy Guy,
Guy,
rest in peace, brothers. But yeah, that's just amazing. Everything about that's amazing. All right, so let's celebrate indies now. All right, that is, we celebrated Sinners, God's Just Dues. Let's celebrate indies. Sean, I'm going to have Bryan go first since you've been talking a lot, and then give you a break here. So, and I'm just going to say this, for all the shit that I get on a weekly basis on our show about how I theme every fucking show, I'm gonna throw it back to you, Bryan, because you have a theme running through your top 5 that just makes me think, you can never ever say anything bad about my doing a theme again,
bro.
I can call you out right now.
I had no desire to try to do a theme. This was
exactly that's my point. That's been my point since show 1. I have no desire to do a theme. I just randomly pick these movies. They just happen to come together.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, though, my number 5 of this list, I'll tell you, Opus was such a great film. John Malkovich. Listen, I love John Malkovich. Don't ask me to tell you everything about his movies because I can't. But when I see him on screen, I am locked in. I am hooked in. Honestly, I really wish that John Malkovich would have been cast as Dr. Doom, because he would have been the perfect Dr. Doom. But I digress. I'm gonna butcher her name. Ayo Edebiri was so
pretty
amazing.
Close. You got pretty close. Pretty close.
This film, in and of itself, was so amazing. I almost put what's it called again? You, Me, and She in this.
You, Me, and Her.
You, Me, and Her in this spot, but I really just couldn't because of the performances of this film and how this film was looking like it was going to be some quirky, dark comedy to being something very dark and scary. And it was just so amazing. For those that don't know, this film is it tells the story of a recluse pop star, Alfred Moretti, who is announcing his first new album in over 30 years, and 6 people come to his compound, and they find out way more is going on than they realize. This is very scary, okay? Extremely scary, but it is just so well done. It is so well shot. And for this to have John Malkovich, Juliette Lewis, and then you've got Lil Nas X and Lenny Kravitz and Bill Burr and Wolf Blitzer in this, and this has remained an indie film. It is amazing. And it had to be number 5 for me. It had to hit that top 5.
All right. I think it's shot amazingly. The art direction in this film is incredible. The colors in this film are just vivid and just incredibly poignant about where it foreshadows and how it goes to things. I know I'm getting really nerdy here, but I just couldn't get through the twisting. There was too much twisting going on in this movie for me a little bit, and that's why it's just sitting outside my top 15. It's like number 15 for me, but I agree with you. Malkovich is a force. He's fucking amazing in this movie.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you cannot take your eyes off of him in this movie.
No.
And I also agree with you that it's beautifully shot and just it's well done. It's well made in that respect. It's just storytelling wise, I fell a little short for me, just a little bit.
I mean, honestly, I felt that this was. I kind of feel like we could have maybe cut 5 minutes off, and it would have been okay.
I think the middle part is really where I start to. It should have got to where it was going a lot faster for me. I think.
Yeah, and
the ending is cool. The ending is
very cool. I think the reason why that middle part sort of feels like it takes so long is because now we're getting to that twist. Now we're getting out of the fun.
But it took so long to set it up. I understand. They dragged you for a while, and it was like,
yeah,
come on.
You're being led along. It's kind of like the girl in high school that you really, really like, and she sort of leads you along just so you can buy beer for the party.
Yeah. That's how it felt.
Did you watch this, Sean? Did you watch this movie, Sean?
No, I haven't watched Opus yet. These,
okay.
So yeah.
HBO Max for anybody who wants.
HBO Max, y'all. Absolutely.
I did watch Mr. Hillman's number 5, and if you want to,
is it alive?
What's that?
Is it alive? His number 5?
No, it's actually pretty dead. So my number 5 is Shelby Oak. So there's a lot of things in here. The reason why it's number 5. Number 1, well, Keith David is and Keith David's just about one of my favorite actors. So
who's in it for like a minute?
Yeah, he's in it for a minute, but I don't care. There's a Keith David sighting. So I was a fan of Chris Stuckman's, YouTube channel and reviews and stuff, and I was aware that he was one of his things was to try to do a horror movie at some point. And so I watched on his YouTube channel. I caught a lot of the updates and things like that. So there was a bit of personal investment, but emotional investment in it. And once it came out, I've actually got to watch it, and I think it's a good horror movie. It's not a great horror movie.
Yeah.
But I think that it one of the reasons on my list is it watching that process was an education for me. And I won't say I got up and close because I wasn't. But watching the crowdfunding and the way that the things that Stuckman talked about, for sure that indie journey, which lasted years, right before it got to come out, was really interesting. And I think it was a good horror movie, right? Like I said, it wasn't great, but it was good. It had a little too much essay, and maybe a little more blood would have been interesting. And one of the things I do like about it is that it hits on how powerful family issues and relations can be in horror. From the sister to the issues with the marriage, um, and then subsequent other relationships. We'll just put it that way. So that's the reason why it made my list.
I'm so glad it's here. Chris Stuckman and I have definitely chewed the same dirt. We've been on the same red carpet together, so I consider him a colleague. I'm really happy for him and proud of what he's accomplished. And I wanted to celebrate that. That's why I did a review of it earlier this year. Because he deserves his flowers for getting this done and getting into this business and doing what he wanted to do his whole life. I think he and I even had a conversation about it at one point. I'm not sure if we talked about that. I know I've talked to the man. So, but that being said, I just feel like this movie was stuck between two choices, and it never made the choice that it wanted to. And that's where it loses me a little bit. But there's some really great moments, like when she's walking through the prison and the way that they present breath as a device in this movie is really amazing. The visual effects in this movie are very amazing, very well done. There's a levitation scene that I've never seen done the way it was done before, and it was really good.
Yeah, I mean that's huge, right? For an indie film to be able to do
absolutely 100%.
Yeah,
but yeah, Gamekeeper said any film Mike Flanagan is involved with in the genre, I'll at least check out. Yeah, me too. I knew Chris, so or I know Chris, so I mean we're acquaintances. I won't say he's a friend of mine, but I know him. Like I said, we've chewed the same dirt, been on the same red carpet. So I was real excited to watch this movie for that reason. And I'm really proud of it. Proud that it's out there. And thank you for acknowledging it. So
yeah, and this could be a stepping stone for him, right?
Absolutely, 100%. And he's going to learn from this experience, and he's going to make something really amazing. I have no doubt about it. It's there. You can see it. The moments that are really good here are really good, and you can see it. So, all right. So I was giving Brian some shit about having a theme. I kind of have a little bit of a theme. Top 5. My number 5 of 2025 is The French Italian. Look, bad people doing stupid shit is always going to be funny to me, and not having a good person in this movie is really interesting. I really enjoy those dynamics, because ironically, I have movies in here that there's a lot of good people doing a lot of bad stuff too. But this is just really so fun. This movie made me chuckle quite a bit. I just love it. I love its just ridiculousness. I love also that it's diverse in its yuppiness. It's not white people doing stupid white people shit.
It's not Friends.
Yeah, exactly. And this is just one of those movies that I think, for people who don't know, The French Italian is about two people who are nosy about a neighbor below them that's making a bunch of noise, and they wonder what is going on downstairs. They can't figure it out, so they put on a fake. They know that she's an actress. One of the roommates is an actress, so they put on a fake play just to get her to come and talk about the situation that she's in the roommate, and then it turns into a real thing where they have to actually make the play. And it's it's incredible, and I won't spoil why it's called The French Italian, but it is just amazing. And it doesn't, the one thing I really love about this is the way it ends, because it doesn't end with happiness.
Nowhere near. And I felt bad because Catherine Cohen is so great in this movie, and I want to like her.
Is amazing,
but she is such an asshole.
Yeah,
and it's
the writing in this movie is really good.
The writing is amazing, because you can kind of understand the point of view, but it's like, you're not innocent.
Yeah.
But the two main characters are the same people that they're the ones that'll say or do something racist, and then they'll be like, "Well, no, I've got a friend."
There's a whole subplot with their friends that they don't realize that two of their friends are gay, and,
Oh,
and it
yes.
kind of shocks them.
They are so,
because it doesn't shock them that they're gay or that they don't have a problem with the gayness. They have a problem
they're
with
shocked that they didn't realize it,
or they weren't told. Yeah, they weren't.
Right.
It
is everyone else's
that's
fault
the
that they didn't
crassness that we're
realize it.
talking about here. It's brilliant. I just really enjoyed it tremendously.
Exactly, Vanessa. Exactly. But my black friend, that is the vibe that I get from these two people. But it just, you know what's funny, Joe? And I've asked this of people, and I've always thought this. I got to give a shout out to like white actors that actually play these disgusting tropes, because it's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
It's gotta suck.
Yeah.
But they do a good job. And I'll tell you what, to be a good person and play a horrible human being, it's kind of like in wrestling. You know, the best heels are always the best people.
Yeah.
Because those intrusive thoughts are finally getting out of the way.
Absolutely. I will say the one potential guy that is good in this movie, and no, I'm not going to say it. There's no good people in this movie.
There are no good people in this friend group. They are all garbage.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's my number 5, the French Italian. All right, Bryan Tann, your number 4, please.
My number 4, Joe, is the ugly stepsister.
God damn it.
The terrifying, disgusting, like Scandinavian body horror reimagining of Cinderella. Oh my God. Oh, my loving Odin. Oh, my mighty Zeus.
This is where it takes Contracted and brings it to a whole new level.
Oh, bro, can you're never gonna leave Contracted alone. Let that go. Oh my! But this is so terrible because, and I love the tagline: "If the shoe doesn't fit, well, there's not going to be an acquittal." It is gross. It is terrible. But Lord, look, listen. Jesus Hernandez in a tree. It is so entertaining because listen,
I have to say this has one of the best openings of any movie I saw this year for sure. It is the weirdest surrealist thing ever, and it has nothing to do with where this movie goes, which I think is brilliant. But this movie just grossed me out. I couldn't do it. I will never watch this movie again.
I will probably not watch it again. Look, there is one other movie that I have seen one time and I will never watch again unless it's for this show, and it is I Spit on Your Grave, the original. This is kind of there.
This is Human Centipede level for me. So
it's very close. Yes. Listen, if you have a weak stomach, stay away. But if you want to see a reimagining of the tale of Cinderella and you just have this morbid curiosity, check this out. Oh my God. It is so creepy and fun and gross and awful. And you know what, ladies? You go through so much.
Oh my God.
Ladies, you go through so much. And
for anybody who's ever thought about having a nose job or has had a nose job, this movie will take it to a whole new level.
Yeah. And I one time made the joke of getting a tapeworm to lose some weight. I will never make that joke again. Ever.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
So apropos of follow that, Sean. Your number 4. I have to say one thing. Can I say one thing about your number 4 choice?
Yep.
It's not going to be his final film, but it really should be. It really should be, because this is how he began, and to go out how he began, to go out the way he began. I mean, it's sad that he's going out at all, but I know there's probably other movies he's done in the can that are going to surf this and not make this his final movie.
I think there's at least one for sure that is be his final movie. So All right.
Your number
So,
4 is.
My number 4. Up.
Oh.
You
All right,
go,
I'll
Drew.
let you do it.
Yeah.
I'll let you do it. Go ahead.
But I'll let you do the next one because I should stop
Okay.
messing around
God.
because I'm terrible at this.
Jesus.
So, Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. Obviously, Rob Reiner directed this one. So, RIP. That's probably one reason it got on here. But so I'll just tell you real quickly how I felt about the first one years ago when I saw it for the first time. I was like 10 minutes in, I was like, ugh. 15 minutes in, I was like, oh my God, this is just. But it kept going, right? That's the thing about the original style tap is it just kept going. And it's like, all right. So and at some point you're either broken down or converted to really loving that movie, right? So I think they managed to recapture that feeling, but in turning it up a bit with this one as well.
The
I feel like
Stonehenge scene is my all-time favorite, funniest scene of all time. I love that scene. Sorry.
no, that's okay. No, and if you like the original, it has a lot of the same beats. If you are just hitting it for the first time, I feel like everybody can sort of relate right now. And so for me too, I'm a person of a certain age, right? And I can relate to getting older, and life changes, and not always in the way that you expect it to change. But at the same time, for me, is also personal in that I'm going to take you back to the world of TTRPGs. A lot of people, and I'm one of these people, are privileged to have like a particular group they play with for years, maybe for decades. For me, that was true. And there's some things that changed in my life where I lost, someone who I was very close to, right? Not they're still alive, but they walked away from our friendship because of stupid stuff,
Mhm.
right? And completely misreading a situation, which I will spoil a little bit, happens in this movie, right? Where you have the people they're at each other because of some stupid shit when they don't realize that it's when they're together, right, that they're doing their best work. I like the continuation of the drummer joke, and I like they how they they change that a little bit. And yeah, it's just the music is great, and if you like music, if you like the stories of if you're into, and I know a lot of people are, the stories of bands breaking up, changing lineups, getting back together when they're all white haired, or when they're all white haired or no haired, you'll like Spinal Tap too. Yeah.
I still need to watch the first one.
I mean, we mentioned this on Saving a Seat. He and Christopher Guest created the mockumentary, so
Yes.
Yep. It's brilliant for that aspect alone. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Spinal Tap, we don't have The Office.
Yeah.
We don't have so much.
We don't have Best in Show, which is I think Christopher Guest's best film. So
And can we just Christopher Guest? Can we just like throw in there that I've never seen the original. I need to watch the original. Well, because here's the thing: keep in mind when it came out, it wasn't in for me to be into it. You know what I mean? As a black kid, I wasn't. It wasn't something that was introduced to me. I didn't even know what Honestly, I didn't know what Spinal Tap was until an episode of The Simpsons when Bart goes to see Spinal Tap. And by then, I had so many other things that I was getting into that it was like it's on the list, but I just never got a chance to get to it.
Thank you, Cleveland. There will be no encore. I still remember that from that episode.
That was so great
because they get washed out and it almost electrocutes them. Pretty funny.
Real great show. Want to trash the stage? Okay.
All right.
I mean, if you love like classic rock too, that especially that British.
And if you like watching old men get made fun of, that's also a pair.
Yes.
I'm there because I'm now becoming the old man.
All right, my number 4 is going to bring the room down.
Of course.
Yeah, because I have to. Because I'm I'm an indie snob. So my number 4 is Sorry Baby. Eva Victor is a true she's the next Greta. She's the next Greta Gerwig. Everybody, get ready. She and ironically, the way she makes films, I say she's the love child of Jim Jarmusch and Noah Baumbach. That's how I describe her sensibility in making these films. This movie is amazing. It is slow. It is brooding. It is brutal. It deals with subject matter that doesn't get talked about a lot, that surfaces in a very awkward and unique manner. It's about nerds doing nerd stuff in a lot of respects, and it's a lot about privilege too, and the veil that it falls under in a lot of respects. Eva Victor is amazing in this movie. Her direction is flawless. This movie has some of the best wide shots I've seen in any movie this year. You have to be ready for it, though. You have to be ready for it. It is one of those movies that you just have to take the punch for, and understand what is going on. You have to. It gives you enough time to absorb it, which I think I'm still sitting with a lot of what it talks about in this movie. So, but this movie is amazing, and it has a Sopranos-esque ending that kind of goes, oh my God, what is going to happen?
But there's a kitty.
Well, that's the reason. The kitty is the whole reason. Like, this one almost made my list, and the kitty is the reason why I watched it in the first place, because I had to know if the kitty made it through the movie.
I didn't even know about this movie. You're holding out on me, Joe.
I told you I watched it. God, Brian,
you didn't tell me there was a cat.
You don't read my emails at all, dude.
I do, but you didn't tell me there was a cat involved. I would have watched this.
But Sean, you know what I'm talking about the auspicious ending, right? I mean, it's just like when her eyes dial up, you go, oh shit.
Is she gonna go after Rocco for what he did to the cat?
You're not far off.
And I need to watch this film.
But yeah, this is intense. So get ready for it. It is something that you really have to absorb to be ready for. But it is brilliant in so many ways, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Eva does from here on out, because I think she's the next voice of the next generation, and I think it's that powerful, and I think she's got staying power that in the independent circle that I think is going to transcend film. So that is my number 4. Sorry, baby. And I say that to Brian as well. Sorry, baby.
I'll forgive you this time.
All right. Your number 3, Bryan Tann.
My number 3 is a film that I am surprised that I loved it so much.
I am too.
But it was so fun for me, and I said it before. This is Canadian Napoleon Dynamite. Drink water. Number 1, Eric McCormick was so great. He's so unrecognizable. But this movie, I just had so much fun with it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Canadian film, but it's like it's I don't get it. I don't know why I love Canadian film so much. I don't know why I like Canadian pop culture stuff so much, but I do. And this film was so much fun. A long take of a dude just running to school, and my whole thought was, bro, why don't you just get the bus? Like, what are we even doing here? And then he runs the whole way to school to find out there is no school, and then he's got to run the whole way back.
One of the best opening credit sequences of any movie we saw this year.
It really was. It was so great, and it just went from there. Basically, this is literally a coming of age comedy. That is, it's. I love everyday life films. I love films that can depict something that's everyday life. Mike Drinkwater lives with his father, who literally just they get by insurance scam to insurance scam, and Mike starts to I'm sorry. Yeah, Mike starts to sort of change his perspective on life when he meets his next door neighbor Wallace, she moves in next door to live with her grandparents. And it just, that's all I'm gonna tell you, because listen, you've got to watch this for yourself. It's truly an experience. The opening sequence was probably among the best we've seen so far, like Joe already said. The growth of the characters, not to mention the fact that this film is very human. Yeah, you're going to get people that are your stereotypical movie villain people in small towns where it's like they just have no other reason to be a douche but to be a douche. But there's so much heart behind all of this. It is such a good film, and it is so heartwarming. And this movie made me smile. It really did.
I don't know why, for some reason, it reminds me of One Crazy Summer, but it kind of does a little bit.
It does. I can get it. Sort of has that feel a little bit.
This is one of, if people are saying, well, we haven't heard of this. This is one of the very first reviews we did. This is, I think, it was either episode 1 or episode 2 of.
This was episode 2.
So,
yeah, this was episode 2.
So if you go back to our archives and Saving Sea, you can hear us talk more about it in depth. Which ironically, you'll hear Bryan Tann utter these words, and I think I've converted Mr. Tann, by the way, everybody. But he goes, "This movie is so fucking indie." That's what he said about this movie, and
it really was. It was truly indie. Like, listen, we've all watched like, big cinematic films, and the biggest difference between a big cinematic film and an indie film is the little touches. Those little imperfections, those little dialogue things that are just different, the way things are shot.
I mean, if Eric McCormick doesn't do a caricature of himself in this movie,
I didn't realize it was
plays the alternate version of Will in this movie.
Yeah, this is if Grace told Will to go blow himself.
This movie is a lot worse than it really, really should be.
Eric McCormick really keeps this movie together.
Yeah,
in so many ways. Yeah. And it kind of shows, look, he's not just a dude that was in a sitcom.
Yeah.
This guy's really a great actor.
Absolutely.
And he really should get more love than he does.
100%. All right, Sean, your number 3 film of 2025
is Hunt You Don't. A couple things that really got me. Well, the first thing that got me interested in the movie was I love female PIs, private investigators, and bounty hunters. I always get a kick out of movies like that. And then Aubrey Plaza is in this, and I would say that Aubrey Plaza plays against type, but that's not true because I don't think Aubrey Plaza has a type.
Right.
I think she's a chameleon, and that she can play any kind of character she wants.
Absolutely. She's just Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, the poster is fucking phenomenal. I agree.
That is the hottest poster, but it's because I love that too. I love that strong woman dynamic.
For people who don't know, Margaret Qualley is the lead in this movie. She is hotter than the sun right now, and she was the young girl in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's how she started her journey.
And it's as convoluted as, I mean, it really took me back to those 80 private investigators movies and 70s. I liken it a little bit to Chinatown, just from some of the vibes. If you've never seen Chinatown, go check that out. But that's just me, how I feel about it. It is one of those movies, though, where there aren't many good people in this film.
It's a theme.
It is a theme. So there's don't
dare you step on my theme.
Oh, and it's on Peacock, so
yeah.
I know what I'm going to be watching.
It is on Peacock.
Okay.
So you can just go into the movie thinking that you're rooting for the movie, not necessarily any particular character.
It's directed by Ethan Coen, everybody.
Oh, yes, right, yes.
One half of the Coen brothers. And I was telling Sean off air, and I'll tell everybody here now, it made me realize that I am a Joel Coen guy in this movie. That I think Joel Coen has the better jokes and the better sensibilities for myself. So That's what this movie did for me. Of course, I watched it because it's Aubrey Plaza. Anything Aubrey Plaza's in, I'm going to absorb. And Margaret Qualley too. I mean, she's really good in this movie. But yeah.
Oh, okay. I see where you said where she was. When you said she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm like, who was she? Oh, it's Pussycat.
Yeah, she was the girl who jumped in the car with Brad Pitt and takes him to the dude.
Can I just say that made me so uncomfortable when she was in the car. That whole sequence was very, but it just goes to show how great of an actress that she is.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Her and Aubrey Plaza. Look, you can tell me that Aubrey Plaza's film is going to be her reading a Geico insurance policy, and I'm going to watch it.
This is very true. Although I do think Joel has some good. Joel also is the camera guy. I think that is also what bothered me about this movie. But anyway, that being said,
it's clearly not as good as it would have been if both brothers were working on it. I think.
I applaud that they're doing their own thing.
Yeah,
sometimes brothers have to break away.
Yeah, I do. And I mean, it's hard to go wrong with the actors he's got in this movie. But I mean, yeah, exactly. Toby says Aubrey Plaza could play the gecko lizard believably.
Oh, hell's yeah. And you know what? I'm so mad at myself. I forgot about a film that we did of hers this year, Joe. And it would have made my list if I had remembered that we did it. My old ass. Because didn't we do that, or did we just watch
we didn't do that one.
I thought we did.
It's not an indie film, that's why. So.
Oh, you're right. I apologize.
We talked about doing it, but it's not an indie film.
All right. Aubrey Plaza rules. She is Daria. Like, her and Janine Garofalo came together and made Daria. Okay? That is why she is so amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, this is awesome. All right, my number 3 is you will recognize this if you watched our show on Friday or a couple weeks ago when we did our
pre-Christmas
12 through 6, because this was on Brian's list. It is my number 3 of 2025. It is Swingbout.
Woo!
Look, movies like this need to be completely 1,000% celebrated for the simple fact that this is a one location shoot that never takes a cut. It moves around incredibly flawlessly. It is just, again, the theme is there's no good people in this movie. There's really not the woman you see on the cover of this poster, maybe the one person you could say is good, but she's doing it for nefarious reasons. So,
she's an asshole either way, but she's.
Look, but this movie is, if you're a fan of like Reservoir Dogs, this is Reservoir Dogs with boxing, and it is the most authentic boxing movie I've ever seen.
Yes,
it goes through incredible scopes of what it takes to be a boxer and the grime and the terribleness of it.
Yeah, because it's a horrible business.
It's a horrible business, and this really highlights that to the tremendous nth degree. It is super well acted. There is incredible shots in this movie. Like I said, this movie moves like no other movie I've seen this year. I really, really thought it was going to be my number 1 movie for a long time. I said that.
Same. I said the same thing. I said the exact same thing.
This movie just had so much going for it. It is Tarantino-esque. It is. It's just brilliant. Every aspect of it. There's an incredible shot where there's 2 actors on the edge of the frame and a misty dust between them, and it is just the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. This movie is really, really amazing. I think you can get it on Apple TV. I was trying to find. It's not on Prime. I looked everywhere for it. I still think it's still on Apple TV. That's where it originally was put on. We luckily got a screener of it, but this is incredible British, just beautifulness. This is very Guy Ritchie too. It's got a little bit of Guy Ritchie-ness to it too.
Absolutely. So. If you have a VPN, sort of search it out as well, because you might be able to find it in Europe. That's a good question, Gamekeeper. Is it good Tarantino or overindulgent? It's good. It's really in the early days of Tarantino.
Yeah, it's Reservoir Dogs. It's really Reservoir Dogs.
It's literally Reservoir Dogs.
In fact, it steals a shot from Reservoir Dogs.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's also one of the great things about it is that it's extremely believable. If you know anything about the boxing business,
Yeah,
you know what you're seeing.
1000%.
And I love the fact that
We talked about this on our review. There's a moment where they're wrapping their hands. It is the most authentic thing you'll ever see.
As someone who has sat there and had his hands wrapped, I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. And I love the fact that it's from the female perspective as well. Because look, ladies, and look, you ladies know this. The women, guys, women are rugged as hell. And the only thing that we do that they can't do is create sperm biologically. That's literally it. I have caught right hooks from women that have hurt me worse than catching a right hook from another male. Okay? This film is so believable. Not to mention the fact we even have a Fabulous Moolah-esque character in this film as well.
Absolutely, 100%.
It's amazing.
It is. It's really and I also love that what you see in front of you is not what you're going to get with these characters when they're alone. It's very cool in that respect as well. There's just so much to it. It's just it is really powerful, and I knew it was going to be here at some point in my list, and I'm glad that it stayed where it stayed. So
I think the only reason why mine was on as high, like as low down on the list as it was, is because I really needed something amazing to round out that section. And it easily could have been in my top 5, but I think the reason why I went to number 6 was literally to just sort of give a little bit more oomph to that section of the list.
Yeah, no problem. All right, we're at 2, huh?
We're at numero dos. Now, you saw this if you watched our last episode. You saw this on Joe's list. My number 2 is Sallywood. Sally Kirkland, this film, we did this right after Sally Kirkland passed on.
Yep. The filmmakers were gracious enough to give us a copy of it and let us watch it.
And this was such an amazing film because, look, I love pseudo documentaries. I love the storytelling. I love the quirkiness of Sally Kirkland in this. It was just so fun. And once again, we get another nod to the great Rob Reiner in the mockumentary style of this. Like, seriously, even though I know that actors and actresses are who they are, they're regular people, you can't tell me that they are not this quirky with these weird demands and all this, that, and the other. Like, they're kind of scary what their world is.
The running joke about how she's Sally Kellerman and not Sally Kirkland.
Yes.
And this movie surprised the fuck out of me. Like I said in the review, I mean, I can't let it go. It is probably production-wise the most indie thing we've seen this year. It is very lowbrow in terms of its production aspect.
It really is.
But it works so well with this idea. It has this documentary-esque feel to it that's not even close to being a documentary. And it really she's so lovable in this movie.
She really is. I just wanted to give her the most loving hug.
And she's not a good person in a lot.
She's not. She is the worst. She's the worst. But everyone in this film is the worst. Even and you know what? Jennifer Tilly playing a freaking prude ass stuck up New Englander mother. Yeah. I did not know I needed that on my bingo card.
Yeah.
But it was so great.
It is. This movie if you want to feel good after 2025's kicked you in the nuts or kicked you where it hurts.
Kick you in your boy or girl parts. And I'm not
if you just want to feel good movie, this is the movie. This is the warm cup of cocoa that you need.
Yes.
With marshmallows on top.
And some Fireball thrown in.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm a Fireball.
Yes, guy. Toby, that is the theme. Everybody sucks here.
Yeah, everyone sucks. Yes.
Wait, because you have not seen nothing yet.
Oh, you have not even gotten to it yet. We are going to the ultimate everyone sucks in a few minutes.
Oh yeah, both of mine and Sean's number one too. People really suck.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, and I'll tell you what, I have to give a lot of credit to the Birdman. Shout out to the Birdman who does the Everything Wrong with Cinema Sins series on YouTube and exposing the grift. He said something really, really compelling over the last couple of years. Is people watch these movies with the idea of you have to root for the protagonist. No, you don't.
No.
You do not have to root.
Please don't.
Listen. I am not rooting for Danny Vineyard in American History X.
Fuck no.
Okay. And there's times where I'm not even rooting for Luke Skywalker because he is a whiny bitch. You're not
with a great porn stash. Mark Hamill to this day has the greatest porn stash I've ever seen.
He has the most amazing porn stash of all time.
Yeah, he's just.
Listen,
you all have to watch an episode of our show to
Ron Jeremy wishes
that was deep cut right there.
That was uber deep cut right there. But no, you don't have to root. You do not have to root for the protagonist all the time. You just don't. Okay, leave it be.
All right, Mr. Hillman. On that note, again, following that, you're number two.
Number two.
What the hell?
Junk World. It is a sequel to the director's, let me get his name right, Takahide Hori.
Yeah.
Junk, there was a previous movie, Junk something. Anyway, it's a sequel. Well, it's really kind of actually a prequel, is from my understanding. I haven't seen the original either, but I did see Junk World. I love stop motion animation, number one. Which will tie a little bit into reasons why my number one is my number one. But regardless, I love stop motion animation. I think it's fantastic, right?
I think it would have been funnier if it was in the trunk, but that's me.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'll do that sometime. Junk in the trunk. It's a science fiction story, which a lot of animated stories are, right? But it's very much in line with stuff that we've seen and that's in our minds, right? It deals with the creation of artificial beings, and they go crazy, but so there's some that still follow their human masters and some that don't. And I would say this is where I think it's like you can sort of root for the robots a little bit. But it's quirky. It's greatly animated. I think the voice work is really well done. For if you're looking for animation to watch, that's accessible plot wise. I really think Junk World is something that you can get into. There's some familiar bits to it, so you won't be completely lost, and you'll find somebody to root for. So.
I have to say that I root for the machines when I watch The Matrix. So,
Right.
Hey, listen, me and Joey Pants are kind of in the same boat, except I'm not going to turn against Keanu Reeves because then I might have to. Because if his dog is involved, I don't want that smoke.
Well, when you watch the Animatrix, which I really loved, right?
I love the Animatrix is probably my favorite of the Matrix saga.
Yeah, you can't help but man, people are stupid, and the machines were right the whole time.
They were.
This brings up a good opportunity for Bryan Tann and myself to talk about what we're doing in 2026. To all of you out there,
so
we're looking for Sean. You've already been solicited for this, so if you can find us a good anime indie film, we would love to do that. But we're looking this year. The way our show is going to work this in 2026 is we're going to do 3 indie film reviews instead of 2. Our show is going to go from a half hour to an hour, but we're also involving you, the audience, this year. And what we're doing is we're having you, somebody on each episode will have a different independent, a different person give us an independent film that they really love for us to take a look at. It doesn't matter what year it is. It doesn't have to be New Year. It can be 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So if you have a film out there that you really want us to see and review and talk about, that's independent. It has to be indie. That's the only
Has to
caveat.
be.
But if you do have one, get in touch with me or Brian, and we will put it into the rotation, and we will get it on one of our episodes. We're doing each every other week, so we have about 27 episodes to do. So in the 2026, so I mean, there's 27 opportunities for somebody different to give us a different movie. So we certainly would love for you to do that.
And you'll get a shout out too. You'll get a shout out as well that it was your.
Yeah, you'll get. You can. We will put your links in the program section of our video, and talk about you at who as you give your recommendation. So,
but just know, if you suggest something that sucks, oh Nelly.
Yeah, we're going to be fair. We're going to be honest.
We are going to be fair. We're going to be honest.
We've decided even with independent film, we'll find the good, but we will also tell you what doesn't work.
Yeah, Monster Within, you can blame that.
Contracted.
Oh, come on!
All right. My number 2 indie film of 2025 is, again, bad people doing stupid shit. You, Me, and Her. This has the best cameo of any film. Sorry to Keith David, but this has Gary Bednob, who you all would recognize from 40-Year-Old Virgin, the guy who tells the other guy to go fuck a goat.
I love him.
Gary Bednob is in this movie for literally 2 minutes, and it's the greatest thing ever. This movie is brilliantly written. It is beautifully shot. It is contagiously horrible human beings. A couple who are kind of workaholics, who kind of realize they're kind of drifting apart, decide to take a vacation to kind of get themselves back together, and then decide that maybe to save their relationship, they would do a 3-way, which, of course, you all know how that's going to go. But it doesn't go the way you think it does, which is another brilliant aspect of this movie. This movie just is, I mean, Selena Regal in this movie is absolutely amazing. She maybe gives the performance of the year for me. Well, one of the top performances, we'll say that. But this movie is just so brilliant in so many aspects. It's so smartly written. It makes total sense, every aspect of it. It doesn't have it has ridiculousness, but the ridiculousness makes sense. It's not James Bond ridiculousness, right?
It's not ridiculous for the sake of ridiculousness.
Right.
There's a point.
Even though they're on a tropical island where, you can obviously trope the shit out of that. This movie does everything to subvert the tropes that it's laying out. And ironically falls into them because of its trying to subvert it. I mean, that's what this movie's about. It's ultimately about, you can't fix what's broken,
right.
And I think this is just an amazing film. It's so wonderful. It is out there now, so everybody can go see it. When we reviewed it was only in theaters, but now it is out there on Amazon Prime, and actually it's on Stars. If you have Stars, it's free on Stars.
I do have Stars.
I don't know anybody who has Stars, but if you
have Stars. Hey, I watch Borderlands.
So there you go. You, Me, and Her is my number 2 indie film of 2025. Now, here's where it gets interesting, everybody. Bryan Tann and I, of all the movies we've reviewed, of all the things we've done together, and of the fact that we had 11 different films in different spots. We had a couple sames that were in different spots. He and I have come to the conclusion, independently, mind you, we did not talk about this.
Completely independent.
That we both saw the best movie of 2025.
Yes,
so we're
we did.
Going to talk about that together. So I'm going to let Sean go ahead and give his, because this is different than ours. And talk about his number 1 film of 2025, which is still on my to be watch list, Sean. So try not to spoil it. I'm a big Wes Anderson fan, so I'm real excited, and I'm a big Benicio del Toro fan as well. But this,
Right.
I'm spoiling it already. So here it is, the number one film of 2025 according to SM Hillman.
Oh my God.
The Phoenician Scheme. So I am hit or miss on Wes Anderson films. I think there are some that are not that entertaining.
I agree.
And I think there are some which are utterly brilliant. My favorite would be Fantastic Mr. Fox. But
The one that I don't really like.
I think, yeah, that's funny. A lot of people will say that, but I think Fantastic Mr. Fox is fantastic. Love Grand Budapest Hotel, and so for me, Phoenician Scheme kind of fits in that mold. Again, it's a movie where there's not a lot of people to root. You kind of, it's hard. I mean, I don't know. I'll just say, because I don't want to spoil it too much. It is hard to root for some of the people in this film, but what you want to look at is, and what I think is the best is, I love the absurdity of it all. And if you can look at the kind of people who are in this film and appreciate how absurd the people who are like this in real life will act like this. And sometimes it's very sad, and sometimes it's very dangerous, and sometimes it is just something to laugh about. But it's also a case where it mixes religion, it mixes crime, it mixes relationships, it mixes family relationships. And to me, it's much more, the crime family in this is much more entertaining than any of the Godfathers.
Oh my.
Yeah. Entertaining.
Michael Cera is in this movie.
Yes.
Is he the Fredo of this movie?
It is, yes. Yeah, I really liked the Phoenician Scheme. Again, it's you come at where I come at Wes Anderson films like with a little bit of skepticism. Is this going to be a good one? Is this not going to be a good one? I think this is a good one. So your mom's my very, but I really liked it.
Awesome.
I have to check that out.
Yeah,
and hey, Benicio del Toro in a tub.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of and of course they get a lot of there's a lot of great actors playing small parts in this movie, which is another one thing that I really like about.
Is Bill Murray in it?
I don't think Bill Murray's in it.
Oh wow, that would be the first for Wes Anderson. So
yeah.
All right, Brian, do you want to do the honors? Our number one film of 2025.
We watched quite a few films this year. There has been no film that has made me laugh as hard or feel as creeped out and root against people than Don't Tell Larry. The dark comedy of a new eccentric co-worker comes to the company, and it's a matter of Susan and Patrick just trying to catch them and just digging themselves into a hole of what in the hell is going on. This film stars the great Patty Guggenheim, a.k.a. Madison, from She-Hulk Attorney at Law. She also plays Raven in Twisted Metal. And, of course, Kyle Kennedy as the frightening Larry. This movie,
and another great cameo in Ed Begley Jr.
And Ed Begley Jr., who, oh my God.
You're right.
Oh, man. Who got cucked by Roseanne in She-Devil all those years ago.
This movie is the absolutely best written movie I have seen in probably 10 years in terms of comedies, absurd comedies. It just hums and it never stops. From the opening scene is a joke. Like there's a saddling scene that is just at the very beginning, the very first shot of this movie, and it doesn't let up, and it doesn't end. It will never end. This fucking movie does never end, and it's fucking great that it never ends. It's one of those that I will take to my grave as one of the best never-ending movies of all time.
It's almost like you don't want it to end because what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Seriously? Now what?
Patty Guggenheim in this movie is fucking amazing. She is. I mean, this movie just is so well acted, so well written. It's
just so fun.
Comedy at its best. It is 80s comedy to the 10th degree that was good in the 80s, right? I mean, all those kind of 80s films we remember and have gravitated to it and love, you know.
Exactly. It literally it's like modern day, but with that old school feel. It's like, look, people throw around words like cringe and uncomfortable and blah blah blah. This movie says, you know what? Yes. This movie is that unapologetic aunt, uncle, boomer that will say what they are gonna say, and that's all there is to it.
This movie makes Office Space eat its lunch.
Yes, absolutely. Dan Aykroyd, John Candy style comedy.
Absolutely, 1000%.
Yes.
1000%.
This is
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in an Office.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, or you can even look at Neighbors.
Neighbors.
Dan Aykroyd and
beautiful. Yeah.
It is just that creep, uncomfortable hilarity.
And there is not a single good person in this movie as well.
Nobody is good.
The theme is continued.
Yeah, the terrible people theme continues on in the best way possible. Listen,
and even the people the funny thing about all of the things about bad people in these movies, Honey Don't is another great example, but French Italian, this movie, is they all have and Swing Bout, they all have the opportunity to do the right thing, and when they don't take it, it is the most numbing aspect of what the fuck, but it goes off the rails in the most spectacular and perfect way because they don't take it.
Yeah, it's like, if you would just cut your losses now. And they refuse
one thing, there would be no movie.
Right. But they're just like, no, I just gotta keep, like, I can make this work. No, you can't. And now you are into this. Is literally, remember that scene in A Bronx Tale where he tried to give the bikers a chance to leave the bar, and then it's like, well, now you can't leave. That is this movie in a nutshell.
You can't leave.
You can rent this on Fandango.
It's on Amazon Prime as well.
It's on Amazon Prime as well, so definitely check it out.
This is 90 minutes of your life you will not get back from laughing so hard. You will split a gut from it.
Yes.
It is so amazingly funny.
You are going to laugh your ass all the way off.
And as far as movie construction goes, the nerd guy, there are some incredible scenes. Like the opening shot where he sidles in is one of the greatest setups I've seen on a camera. I mean, these guys just know what they're doing, and they know how to capture the moment and feel, and it just never stops. It never stops. And it's awesome.
And I know that it can feel, and Vanessa's saying that she's exhausted with people being terrible. I get it. 100%.
But this movie will redeem that for you.
It redeems it, because the great thing about the films that we're talking about where the people aren't great people is that, number one, they do face consequences. And at the same token, though, in this movie in particular, you're going to just laugh so hard that it's like you kind of want them to keep being bad.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
and keep making the same stupid mistakes.
Yes. It's like, how deep are you going to take this? Because I am here for it.
Totally. 100%. Yeah, this was no doubt. The moment we saw this movie and we talked about it, I think Brian and I both had the same sentiment. This was going to be our number one. And it never changed for me. This movie never lost its spot for me ever during the year. And there were some great contenders, as you've seen. But this movie, the moment I saw it, it was absolutely going to be my number one movie.
Absolutely.
I knew it the moment I saw it.
The moment we saw it, matter of fact, we even said it to each other. We're like, this is the number one for the year.
Yep.
Nothing is going to, and any other movie is going to have to
live up to it. Yeah.
And they couldn't.
And that's why the French Italian's 5 and not 2, because it is a similar aspect ratio to this, but it doesn't live up to where the Don't Tell Larry. And I'm not slighting the French Italian for that reason. French Italian is great on its own, but But yeah, that's where it's at. That's the standard bearer for me in comedy is going to be Don't Tell Larry for a long time.
Absolutely. And it's great stuff. It's the actors that are in this do such an amazing job, and everyone plays off of each other so well.
Yeah, all the roles are
weak
cast
links.
perfectly. There's just so much great things about this. And stay tuned, everybody, because the filmmakers of Don't Tell Larry Bryan and I will be talking to them in the new year. So we're going to pick their brain, and so go see the movie, and then come and watch us talk to the directors about it, because we will get the skinny on a lot of that. So
yes,
so that's a spoiler alert for 2026. Before we get into the spoiler alerts of what's coming in on This Week in Indies, which we will as well, we have a nice little trailer that Sean and I put together for you for that. Let's go ahead. Every year we discuss the publisher of the year, and we had some really good contenders this year, Sean. You and I talked about it quite a bit. We had a little discussion about it, and we wanted to acknowledge a couple people before we actually give out the award that we're going to give out to the person we're giving it to, because these were people that we discussed in terms of being in line for this award, and they deserve some credit for what they've accomplished this year. One being Mr. Rob Grimore, who set out, his goal was to put some stuff out there this year. He managed to get 3 stories published, one of his own independently, and 2 in anthologies. And he was a really high consideration for this award, because that's really accomplishment. We want to reward that kind of tenacity and that kind of perseverance. So absolutely.
Yeah, Rob's his writing is very inventive, and I think that was another reason why he was getting had consideration as well. You enjoy reading this stuff. It's not always comfortable, but it's always it's a pleasure to read.
And if you're a fan of Sinners, his book, The Pulse Remains, very Sinner-esque. So, and then we also were talking about Outsider Publishing as another possibility. What Tiffany has accomplished in the short period of time, her and her brother creating the design that they've created. They put out, I believe, Tiffany, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you're out there, 3 anthologies this year, and then or two or three, Camelot and Rights Risk, and I think there was a third one, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, their own books and publishing. They continue to publish. They're growing, and we're very excited to see where they grow. And
absolutely,
no doubt, one of these times they're going to get this award. I have.
Yeah. I mean, I think they'll probably be strong consideration for next year as well.
And then past award winners who have received this award too were under consideration for a second time in Falstaff Books, who put out some incredible books this year. A lot of which you'll hear me talk about tomorrow. Spoiler alert. And also Juliet Rose, who was our last year winner, Above the Rain Collective, continuing to just assault the indie book market and put out banger after banger after banger. I mean, they put out a lot of great stuff this year as well. But ultimately, because they had won the award previously, we wanted to reward somebody who hadn't won it just yet, and somebody who we just had to acknowledge. And it's really great for this purpose. It's not a novel publisher, although he does do novels, but he didn't publish a novel this year. He published games, and thus we picked our publisher of the year as our game, because we played his games more than we played anybody else's on Hit the Dice. Mr. Bob Magoo, Bearded Bard Inkworks, is our indie publisher of 2025.
Yeah, we really like the small. I mean, it really embodies that indie vibe, right? Small, compact, zine-like games that people love, that they've loved since the very beginning. And it's really the fact that, I mean, we're very privileged not only to have Bob generously let us run his games, but also, we have folks like Tiffany, who's here, who are regular players in Cryptid Capture Core, and it's really made Hit the Dice a very strong show this year. It wouldn't be as good as it was without them. So, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, So thank you, Bob, for contributing to the indie community as you do. You've always been a stalwart in that community, and we wanted to acknowledge that this year. And thank you. Continue. And I know that the gaming thing is something you're really into. So we wanted to acknowledge that you're doing a good job. You're putting it out there. We're really proud of what you've accomplished. And, thank you so much for your contributions, Bob.
Absolutely.
All right. So 2026 is coming up, everybody. Like I said earlier, if you missed out earlier, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be live myself doing my personal favorite indie books of 2025. I will have honorable mentions, and then I will do my indie dozen. So 12 through 1, I will go through every single one and give you my thoughts on every single book and why they were on my list the way they were. And then Wednesday night, previously recorded, myself and JD Estrada sat down and we picked our 12 favorite indie albums of 2025. That will happen on New Year's Eve at 8 p.m. Eastern. That will debut. You'll get to hear the music that we loved for 2025. And you'll get to hear JD Estrada's never-ending list of honorable mentions. Just preparing you all for the inevitable. But that's so JD. It's awesome. It's just amazing. He's got some really good ones. So everybody get ready for those 2 shows. Those will happen this week. But coming up on January 11th, we start this all over again, everybody. And here we go. This is a little taste of what you can expect this week in Indies for 2026.
In 2026, winter springs eternal here at Go Indie Now as we take you week by week through the seasons.
In 2025, we asked you why you wrote.
Made you hungry talking about books and food.
And we even played a little sports ball in your writing.
So in 2026, we don't plan on slowing down as we ask you, what is magic?
What is serialized fiction?
Is subtext cowardice?
It is. We will dig deep into our psyches and explore us, the writer, as sadomasochists.
Loveless pursuits.
How to vet those so-called professionals in the business.
And even build a universe.
As always, C.L. Cannon continues to rain down a hellfire and ferocity of indie books you might enjoy if you're a fan of some of the classics or some of the more tropey Big 5 books.
And we fill you in on all that goes on each and every week here at Go Indie Now.
Then we have a little fun at our panelists' expense in the epilogue.
As always, we are humbled to serve you as your host, for I am Joe Compton.
And I am S.M. Hillman. And this is
This
Week
Week
in
in
Indies
Indies
for 2026.
We must have done that. This is this week in Indies for 2026 like 5 times.
I
That was
think
the best
sometimes,
thing
yeah.
that I could do.
Trying to coordinate that, but yep, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
That is it's going to be an amazing season. Hopefully, all of you will participate and be a part of that. We thank you all for being here and enjoy and doing all of that each and every year. I'm just humbled and more just grateful for all of you being here and contributing and doing all you do. Thank you to my colleagues, all of our producers, all of our hosts, but especially the men to my left and right here. You guys were my pillars that I leaned on, and I really appreciate you doing that for me. It means the world to me, the both of you. And so thank you guys so much for a great year. At least a great year in Go Indie Now terms.
Yeah. Look, man, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be working with you. And I'm like officially a collaborator. Officially
You are officially producer, man. So
woohoo!
Fantastic.
And as a reward for everybody who's watching, you will all get to see the very first glimpse of our winter bumper, our little anime that we do at the beginning of every show and at the end of every show. This is the winter/spring bumper for 2026. It's very short, but very sweet. So you'll
I
see
dig
that
it.
in front of every single show and at the end of every single show.
I dig it. I love that lo-fi.
Nice digging for real.
All right, everybody. Well, that is this year in Indies for 2025. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for joining us. Why, guys?
Because it's always
Always
time
time
to
go
go
in.
Go in now. Bye, everybody.